Hello everyone and welcome to a scrapbook layout process where I'm going to use some cuts that I have done on my Cricut with the print and cut feature. And I know that we're heading into Easter and really I should probably be focusing on Easter layouts, but I wanted to share what I've created with this gorgeous Halloween spells paper. I think this is what it's called. And I was just looking online today and saw that it is in the last chance section and it's also on special. So yes, Halloween spells, and the paper is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the colorways on this. It's so bright, it's fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Halloween, but I am going to create a Halloween double page spread today. And I'm just going to flip this over so you can see the other side. You get 3 sheets of each pattern and your projects don't necessarily have to be Halloween, except for this paper here. This one is very much geared towards a Halloween design. However, I have seen people put other pieces of paper and change the label on the book spines so that it could be something else. But I am doing some cute little Halloween figures today. So these are my print and cut images that I have found in Design Space. The only thing that will be different is this Too Cute to Spook had a little ghost on here and I wanted to go with these characters here, and I've manipulated that a little bit. And I've recently done a Cricut tutorial on print then cut, and I will link to that below if you are wanting to create something like this and want to sort of personalize your pages, but you don't necessarily have the stamp set for it. So I'm going to get into creating my double page spread. I'm just going to put all of these cute little adorable things aside. If you like me, you're not up to date with your scrapbooking, I have photos that I can use these for. So I'm going to use mainly this paper here, and the other side of this is the orange dot. So I'm going to use both sides of that. Now what I'm going to do for this firstly is cut this up, and I'm going to have a piece of this on each edge. So I'm going to literally create bookends for my layouts. Now I'm just looking at how far the print is here from where the book images start. And it's about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make that cut first. Did I say 1/2 inches? 1/2 inch. So this is going to be my first cut. And then I'm going to fussy cut these book images out. So I'm just going around. I am leaving a little bit of black space at the end of these bookends. Well, sorry, this book stack. I keep calling it bookends because the page that I'm creating today, I'm going to put these at each end. So it is like creating a bookend to my scrapbook layout. So I'm going to fussy cut all the way up here. You don't need to watch me do the whole thing. But you can see that I am just turning my paper rather than my scissors. And the reason why I haven't cut this down is because I want to see if I can salvage this piece in the middle. And if I can't, I'll just cut into another piece. I wasn't actually going to post this video because I've had these out for kits for workshops that I have done, but I'm making some more up for my next workshop. So I thought I might as well just video it and share with you this gorgeous paper, especially now that it is on special and you can get it at a reduced amount. So I will have the link for that below for you to check out, and hopefully, even though it's on the last chance list, it will still be available by the time this video airs. So I will be back after I've gone all the way up this side and all the way down the other, and then I'll start constructing my page and bringing in those cute little images. So I've got these pieces all cut out. I think I'm going to bring them in around 1/2 inch from the edge, and you can see I've got that center piece here that I am going to maybe cut a couple of little strips with it, because I'm thinking I've got my border coming up this way. I have turned the paper over and cut 2 1-inch strips, and they're going to run across the bottom here. And rather than covering up this piece, I'm going to put them underneath like so. So I'm just fiddling around with how I want the placement of this. And what I'm going to do now, rather than throw this piece away, I might use it as a strip going across next to this orange piece. So I'm just going to trim out these fussy cut little pieces here and try and keep my paper nice and straight. It's a bit harder when you don't have a bigger piece. I'm going to come back a little bit because I want to conserve as much of this as I possibly can for my strips. So that piece, I cut that pretty well actually. Sometimes on camera it doesn't always go to plan. So that one's going in the bin. Then I'm going to turn it around and cut the other piece away. Make sure that it's straight and that my guideline here for where my blade is going to run is going to go across that okay. So I've just trimmed away all the fussy cut edge, and then I'm left with this piece here, which I am going to cut in half. So around here, let's see if I can align this up nice and straight. And I've got two pieces here that I can run along the edge of this one. I do like how that looks. It's just giving a little bit of a grounding place on the bottom of this layout rather than having it all white space. And it also gives somewhere for this border type strip to land as well. Now I'm going to bring in my photo mats, and I do this quite often. I'll start with my photo mats and then decide how I'm going to place my embellishments, because for these cute little ones that I just showed you earlier, what I want to do is tuck them in and around the pieces where I create a little nesting place. So this is one here. I've got another place here to run a row of the characters, I think. Then I'm going to do this in this sort of fashion down like this. So at the moment I'm just doing a lot of dry fitting, and then that is going to come in here. Now with my little images, I'm just going to put them up here and separate them out so I can bring them in, because I don't want to bump what I've created here. I've got my little bats. They're going to be my embellishments, and I've got a couple of smaller ones with the mummy and the little witch, and then I've got 3 of the larger pieces, and the little Frankenstein monster is going to go on here. So I'll have a couple of each image on these. So let me place these around where I think I'm going to put them. These ones, I'm going to tuck them sort of semi underneath this strip here, so it looks like they're standing on this little piece. I'm going to tuck them under so I can see little toes, and then this little dude is going to go sort of semi over top of both of these. So I'm going to lay them out somewhat like this. And that one, I have cut some of these orange circles to go on, just to make it stand out a little bit from the background. So tuck that there. And that's a good nesting spot for that. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. And the top edge of this photo mat will line up with the bottom of these letters here. So I think that looks pretty good. And then the other circles I've done, I think I'll have one coming out from this side. I might need to bring that down a little bit, I think, because I want to tuck one in up here. So it's just a case of moving things around until I'm happy with the placement of everything. So we normally talk about triangles, and this would be the triangle, but I've got this one here, but I've got this group of little characters here. So the triangle is sort of being extended this way. This would be really cute if he just peeks out like he's going to peek out over the top of that photo. I really like how that looks. These little images are so cute. So you can find a lot of things in Cricut Design Space, especially if you have access. Sometimes you can find the same things in Creative Fabrica. I need to move this one up a little bit. I know I'm fiddling around with this. I'm not even adhering anything down yet, but I will bring it all in adhered shortly for you. So this little circle down here is going to form part of a journaling spot, and then she can sit, if I can get her underneath there to show you, a little bit like this. So partially over the photo. So these are true size mats, 4x6 and 3x4. And then I will just trim my photo down a little bit. And then I just have to decide where my little bats are going to go. So I've got a couple of sizes here. I'm going to put a couple over in this section, a large and a small. And I might just have them running up this side. I want to put one on this little circle as well. And because I've done print then cut with an outline using the offset feature, they become sort of like stickers, so they will stand out from the background piece. I think this really is a cute page, but I just wanted to stress, for a Halloween page, you don't necessarily have to have the character that matches what your child is dressed up as or what you're dressed up as, but this page just represents a whole lot of fun when it comes to Halloween dressing up. With the magic of video, everything is adhered down. There are just a couple of things I wanted to point out to you. I have put all of these up on dimensionals just to give them a little bit of lift from the page. I think they look super cute. He is absolutely gorgeous peeking out from here. So you've got more room to do journaling on there, or you could just leave that as is, and you can put journaling here as well. But if you like the cleanness of having the white circles with these characters here, you could do a little bit of journaling along this section here and keep this nice and clean. Now, with the dots that I have put on this particular page, I've used some orange and purple ones, and they're from 2 different packs. So the purple ones are from the Glossy Dots assortment, and they work really well with this paper. And the orange ones are from Sunny Day Iridescent Dots. This is from the Friends of the Ocean collection. And I think this one came out with the 6x6 Full of Life papers. And I think combining these 2 colors worked really well. But I think just these few dots just dress this up perfectly. And you'll see that all of my little bats here are up on dimensionals as well. This was a super fun and a really quick layout to do, just using one piece of pattern paper and some cute little print then cut images from Cricut. Check out the links below for more information on everything that I have used today. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope to see you next time. Happy crafting, and bye for now.